What's cracking, party people in the place to be? Justin Woodward here, co-founder of the Media Indie Exchange, with an incredible cornucopia of upcoming indie titles with our mixed fall game showcase, and also we're gonna give you some whack rhymes.
Friends versus friends.
I am sneaky.
Can you guys hear
Erica?
Look at my stream.
They might be dead.
You can backshot his own.
Or Punzi used to like this.
Yeah, I'm speaking.
Hi everyone, I'm back. Holy crap, FVF is getting crossplay. It's happening. Right, so I just wanted to talk about everything that's happening regarding Friends vs. Friends, because we have been waiting for an eternity through a horrible content drought. I mean, it's been like most of a year. So we've been told before by some insiders that they were planning to give the game crossplay, but there's been some hangups. And while everyone was very secretive with their wording, it's definitely clear that it was the console publishers who, probably the console publishers who were the main hangup/expense for the whole process. And I understand that like they can be pretty litigious companies, but you know, wow. Putting up all these barriers against the indie developer releasing their game on multiple platforms, which we know can save them from death, is crazy. And that brings me to the player counts, because basically after the first few months, the game did slowly fall off until, you know, there weren't many players left. And honestly, most of us have just believed that the game was dead. I mean, even some of the people who had connections on the inside with Brainwash Gang, it was heartbreaking. Even I quit playing FVF despite it being my favorite game, because I just wasn't enjoying fighting the same 5 insanely cracked players every single day. And I'm left here wondering what could have been. How many people could have joined the game if crossplay had come out when the game was still new? Because it's got a lot going for it. The gameplay on the surface is pretty well polished, and the movement is clean and precise, and it has a lot of the features with like the actual gunplay that people were really craving around the time the game came out. So, you know, under different circumstances, I do think the game could add, you know, a really killer release. One thing I do think has held the game back slightly, of course, is the fact that like the main demographic is, you know, people who are furries. But honestly, with how bad some of the skins in Fortnite have gotten at this point, I do find myself wondering how much of a disadvantage that really is, because I mean, some of the Fortnite skins are downright diabolical. They're seriously bad, you know, with the furry trapping. When the announcement stream went live, we were able to ask one of the devs for a while a variety of questions about like what's coming, and it seems like for now what we're getting is purely just a crossplay release. There are definitely intentions for content to be coming soon afterwards, but it's unclear. It seems like for now it's just crossplay. So I guess I'll just go over some of the things that Edu said we may be getting in the future, because for the most part right now it's looking like if we do get anything, it's probably going to be a balance patch, and honestly I agree with that wholeheartedly, because there are quite a few cards in the game which are completely broken, either by design or through, you know, exploits and that sort of thing, and likewise there are quite a few cards which totally suck, but they seem like they're good on paper. Overall, at the moment, I am totally stoked for the crossplay update. It hopefully is at long last going to bring some real numbers to the game. And in turn, of course, that's going to be bringing in lots of money for Brainwash Gang, because at the end of the day, FVF is a paid title. It's not free to play, but it is cheap. Although it's cheap, hopefully that money's gonna add up pretty quickly. I mean, console is like probably one of the main markets for games. I'm not sure what the actual stats are with, you know, mobile games and how huge they are. One of the things worth mentioning is, of course, which consoles are going to be getting the FEF console port. So at the moment, it's going to be PS5 and Xbox. Although I do have a connection who I speak to regularly about the game who is telling me that maybe, and it is a big maybe, there will be a Switch 2 port coming fairly soon, but at the moment it is yet to be officially announced. So for those of you who are existing subscribers who used to enjoy my content, you may be wondering, you know, where I've been the last 6 months. I did create a community post about it a while back, but I've since hid my channel and reinstated it at least twice, so if you haven't seen that, I don't blame you at all. Basically, my mom found my channel, and I was upset about it, because, I mean, come on, I talk about hot buff men while drawing furry femboys on MS Paint live on YouTube for everyone to see. Like, can you really blame me? Most people have been pretty understanding about the predicament, especially since this all happened not long after she outed me. But so hopefully that does help put things into perspective for anyone who didn't know what happened there. But hey, in the last 6 months since hiding the channel, I did try to kind of focus on myself a bit more. I've actually been bulking, and I moved into a new job. I was dealing with, you know, some homophobia and transphobia at my old place pretty often from bosses and co-workers. I'm doing better now, but this year has been pretty wild-wide, all things considered. And without getting too much into unnecessary detail, obviously, you know, I've not been having the most incredible time with mental health this year. But yeah, I mean, all we can ever do is just keep trying to get better in life, and I hope everyone had fun watching the intro to the video, because, you know, I made that lovingly. And please, if you haven't considered it, it would be incredible if you dropped a subby wubby. It takes less than a second to do, and genuinely it would make my day a bit brighter. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I guess I'll see you soon after this update.